So, you're looking to become an assistant district prosecution officer in Madhya Pradesh? Well, you've come to exactly the right place. Today, we're going to break down the entire MPPSC ADPO exam and give you a clear, easy-to-follow roadmap to success.
This isn't just about passing another test. This is the first big step into a really demanding, but also incredibly rewarding career. So let's ask it again. Are you really ready to start that journey? Because we're about to make sure you have the map you need to get there.
All right, here's our game plan. First, we'll look at the big picture, the ADPO exam roadmap. Then, we'll dive deep into Section A, the general knowledge part, and Section B, the all-important law syllabus. After that, we're going to decode the exam pattern so there are no surprises, and we'll wrap it all up with a solid preparation strategy to tie everything together.
So let's start with that roadmap. What does this journey to becoming an ADPO actually look like? Well, it's not just a single exam, it's a two-stage process, and it's designed to really test if you've got what it takes.
Okay, so it's a two-phase system. First up, you've got the online written test. This is where you show them what you know, and that's our main focus today. If you nail that, you move on to the second hurdle, the interview. That's where they check if you're the right fit for the job. So think of it as two big steps you have to take, one right after the other. All right, let's dive into the first part of that written test, Section A, general knowledge. This is all about what you know about the world, India, and especially, and this is key, Madhya Pradesh itself. Now, when we talk general knowledge, we're starting with the heart and soul of Madhya Pradesh. We're talking its history, its art, its culture. Think major dynasties, its role in the independence movement, all the way to its unique tribes, dialects, and festivals. This isn't just about memorizing facts, It's about understanding the rich cultural tapestry of the place where you'll be working.
Okay, next up, it's about the physical and political landscape of the state. You've got to know about its geography, the forests, rivers, and mountains, but also its political system, right down to the Panchayati Raj. And of course, what makes the state tick economically? Its industries, its agriculture, it's the whole package.
And to round out the general knowledge section, you need to be up to date with the modern world. We're talking current events, both national and international, sports, awards, all that good stuff. But hey, look closely here. You also need to know about IT, AI, cybersecurity, e-commerce. This is a huge signal, right? They're telling you that a modern ADPO has to be comfortable with technology. It's non-negotiable.
Okay, let's shift gears. We're now moving into the real heavyweight champion of this exam, Section B, the law syllabus. Make no mistake, this is the absolute core of the test. This is where you really need to shine and prove your expertise.
And it is comprehensive. We're talking about 10, that's right, 10 distinct units of core law subjects. This tells you right away that they're not just scratching the surface here. They're going deep to make sure you know your stuff across a whole range of legal areas that are critical for this job.
Just to give you a little taste of what's in store, you've got the big ones, the absolute cornerstones like the Indian Penal Code and the Criminal Procedure Code. But then you also have more specialized, modern laws like the POCSO Act and the Information Technology Act. See that blend? They want you to have the foundational knowledge, but also be totally up to speed on contemporary legal issues.
So we know what we need to study. Now let's figure out how we're going to be tested. And trust me, understanding the exam pattern is like learning the rules of the road before you get behind the wheel. It is absolutely essential for your strategy. Okay, here's the full breakdown, and this is where you need to start thinking like a strategist. Look at the numbers. Part A, general awareness, has 50 questions for 150 marks. Important, right? But now look at Part B, the law section. 100 questions for 300 marks. That's double. The exam itself is screaming at you where your main focus should be.
So in total, you're looking at 150 questions to answer in that 3-hour window. And those 150 questions add up to a grand total of 450 marks for the written test. Remember, the 50-mark interview comes later.
Now listen up, because this is probably the most critical piece of information about the exam pattern. For every right answer, you get 3 marks. Awesome. But for every wrong answer, you lose 1 mark. That's right, there's negative marking. This completely changes the game. It means you can't just guess your way through it. Accuracy is everything. All right, we've got the map, we know the rules of the road. So the big question is, how do you actually prepare for this journey? Let's lay out a simple, practical, 5-step strategy to get you there. So here's how you put it all into action. Step 1, familiarize. You need to know the syllabus and pattern we just talked about inside and out. No excuses. Step 2, prioritize. Be real with yourself. What are your weak spots? Hit those the hardest. 3 is practice. Get your hands on previous question papers. This isn't just about what you know, it's about managing that 3-hour clock. 4, update. Learn something new every single day to stay current. And finally, step 5, revise, revise, revise. Make a schedule and stick to it. That's how you lock in all your hard work. And there you have it. We've gone over the entire route, we've looked at the terrain, and we've covered the rules of the road. You now have the complete map for the MPPSC ADPO exam. So the only question left to ask is the one on your screen. Are you ready to take that first step and start the journey?